There are so many people that are looking for purpose. There are so many people that are confused about who they are, what they should be doing with their lives, and where to go from here. What if I told you that you are purposeful just as you are, and that there's no need to search for it beyond yourself, beyond just living a life that is true to who you actually are? It's just that almost every single individual on this planet has been living their life as someone that they are not, lost as somebody who they thought that they should be, unaware of the fact that for many years you've just simply aligned yourself with who it is that you thought that you should be, and then you got lost in trying to understand the world from a perspective of I need to fit into the mold of something, instead of realizing that you are perfect as you are and that you're not supposed to fit in anywhere but to stand out exactly as you are. I like to talk a lot about insecurities, about thoughts of overthinking, about depression, mental health problems. I like to talk a lot about this drive to be successful, to get somewhere, to go somewhere. Because it's all unnatural. It's not part of the deep truth of what a human really is, which is a place operating from a high state of self-love, from a high state of self-respect, where we don't actually seek to go somewhere in life, but to fully enjoy the present moment as it is right now. It's just that we're all so incapable of enjoying this moment because we adopted so much from our environment. We so deeply conditioned ourselves to be something that we are truly not. And now we're stuck here thinking that there's a pressure on top of me, that I have to be something, that I have to get somewhere, that I have to be successful with this thing, or that I should be on the level of these people, or whatever it is. And all of that is just fucking bullshit. We're all just lost unconsciously to the ideas of our surrounding, to the programs of our surrounding. But if you found this video today, then that means that you have taken one little step closer to what it is that you actually seek, which is more wholeness and completeness within yourself. Because a human does not naturally seek purpose, don't naturally look for answers. That is only when you've been living unconsciously as something that you are not for too long. You live too much to fit into the mold of your parents, into the society, or whatever it is that made you feel like you are not good enough as you are, that made you feel like there's something about you that has to change. And these small changes that we make over the course of our life happens in ways that we don't even understand. It just sort of happens automatically as we are faced with resistance over and over. Resistance to, if you look at it at the deepest level, to our own emotional states. We experience heightened states of emotion as we are going through this journey of life. That is how we're always perceiving this reality, how we're always seeing the world around us, is through first our energy as how we are feeling, you know? Sometimes when you make a mistake, you feel some shame, you feel some guilt. Sometimes when you do this and that, you feel some joy. And sometimes when you do this, you feel this. Whatever it is that you're doing in your life, it's always coming back to how you're feeling. You know, you want to feel good. You want to feel something. Everything that you're doing is ultimately leading back to changing the state of how you feel. That's how it is. Most people are just not aware of the fact that they're actually feeling like shit. Because we're so disconnected from our body and our emotions, which is the natural product of slowly burying these aspects of ourselves, these emotions that we feel that we should not be connected to anymore. This is when you get lost. You have a few experiences where your parents don't accept and approve of you if you express yourself or are as you are. So you choose to bury a little bit. In order to fit into society, you need to bury a lot of different things in order for it to work out. I've been hiding myself for a long time, believing that I should not be seen as I am, and that I need to accustom myself and change myself in order to not stir up the emotions within people around me. That is just something that I've been dealing with and struggling with quite a bit. And I was a person that was not authentically who I am. And because I wasn't authentically who I am, I lost touch with all of the aspects of myself that I was supposed to live through, that instead, in that disconnect from who I am, led me to seek something, because I lost touch with the purpose, which was always me. Purpose is you, who you really are, who you authentically are. Life is not some big, like, question mark. It's just an expression mark, if that's what you call it, exclamation mark, whatever the fuck it's called. You're just supposed to shine as you are. That's the purpose of life. And it feels amazing to do it. And if you're at some part in your life right now where you don't understand what's going on, where you're not completely sure about who you are and what you're doing with your life, then that just means that you've lost yourself too much in a character that wasn't you to begin with. It was only something that seemed reasonable as you slowly disidentified with who it is that you really are. It is so fucking dark in here. I've seemed to be having a lot of troubles lately with the light and the darkness on this channel. Maybe the darkness came here just to show you that, you know, in this moment right now, when you're being something that you're not, life is pretty dark, you know? Because life can be amazing. Life is supposed to be amazing. And it's supposed to be effortlessly amazing. It's just that it cannot be that when we are always, at all times, trying to be something that we are not. In ways that we don't even realize. We're trying to be something that we are not in ways that we have lost even awareness of that we're doing. We're settling for less. We're hiding ourselves. We are choosing relationships that are not good for us. We're doing a lot of weird things that are ultimately not for the best of our being, which is only ever the result of trying to run from deeper aspects of who it is that we are that we're no longer aware of. We've lost touch with ourselves. Being in touch with who you are and expressing that exactly as it is, as who you are, is the deepest meaning of life. Because that's the effortless nature of life. And when I say it in that sort of way, I don't mean that you should be, if you're a negative or judgmental person right now, then understand that that's not who you authentically are. Because authentically, at your depth, you're just love. That's where it all comes back to. And if you're not just a pure expression of love and excitement, then understand that you've disconnected from the essence of who it is that you are. And that you've lost yourself in a matrix, a reality that was created for you, by you, because you believe this is how the world had to be, with the beliefs that you have about yourself, based on all the things that you've been through in your life. At any moment you can start to change this and start to turn it around. And it's super simple. You start accepting your situation for what it is. You start accepting that you're confused. You start accepting that you're a failure. If that is how you kind of see it. You're not truly a failure, but if that is how you feel like a fucking failure. Just embrace it. Stop the chase. Stop the seeking. Stop it all. Just be in that energy that created you to try and run from this place in the first place. This present moment. Because that energy is always here, even though you haven't been aware of it for the longest fucking time, because you were running from it. You were escaping it, trying to do something as to always be disconnected and unaware from what it is that you're actually feeling, that you bury deep inside of you. That you have to move through. Because any confusion, any seeking just is a disconnect from self, trying to run away from something that you believe that you shouldn't be in connection with. But when you stop running for the matrix, when you stop trying to distract yourself, when you feel like that fucking failure, when you feel like you're not fucking good enough, when you feel like whatever it is in this moment right now that you haven't allowed yourself to go through, you'll get out on the other side. You'll start connecting back to your wholeness and completeness again. And then you realize, fuck, this thing that I was so worried about, this thing that I was overthinking all the time, this thing that I tried to chase, damn, how fucking lost I was to do that. Only because I didn't allow myself to actually feel as who I am. Because when you connect back to that, then you'll see things clearly. You'll see the truth of the situation. You'll start to feel like yourself again. And when you start to feel like yourself again, you don't seek things. You just are what you are. You are the purpose. You just feel excited over certain things and you go for it. You enjoy it. You don't question things. You don't second think anything. You realize that the mind has very little to do with purpose. Has very little to do with what it is that you seek in this moment. You're just seeking to be who you are. That's what every person is seeking. Is to be who you are in this moment. And to allow that to carry you forward. However the fuck that looks. But you don't know in this moment, perhaps, what that looks like. That is because you've held yourself trapped by your beliefs and by you trying to do something. Perhaps thinking that, oh, I really need to get this education, I really need to get this job, I really need to be this person that is a people pleaser, I really need to satisfy my family and friends, I really need to do this, I really need to do that, whatever it is. Billion different adaptations to living as a character that is not really who you are, unaware of it. When you accept this moment without trying to run from it anymore, always trying to change this moment, you'll connect back to the energy that you tried to run from your entire life. And through the moving through that, you'll be whole and complete again. And the pressure disappears. And you realize that in this moment right now lies everything that I ever sought for. It was just a deeper allowance of me. And then from that point, the world becomes an open book for you to enjoy, to do whatever the fuck you want to do in it. Because there's no limitations placed on you anymore by yourself because of things that you believed about things around you. It all comes back to you in the end. You're supposed to know exactly what makes you tick and just fucking follow it without any excuses, without any apologies, just being who you are. And if that is not the case right now, then you gotta start connecting back to who it is that you are beyond the character of this place that you're in right now. Because these signs of confusion, being lost, seeking purpose, trying to be successful, trying to be this, that, this means that you're lost, my friend. You lost yourself somewhere along the way as you try to adjust yourselves to the expectations of the environment. And almost everybody in this society is here because we're all brought up by the same system, by the same generational trauma that has been passed through the generations that we're all carrying and now are being asked to face in this moment. To finally face the energy, to make it unconscious, to make it conscious again. By no longer engaging in the unconscious things that kept it hidden. Because when you pretend to be a strong person, pretend to be a successful person, when you pretend that you're supposed to be this, you go for it, you're supposed to be a happy person, I'm supposed to be a happy person, I'm supposed to be whatever type of person, when you just drop that thing and realize that fuck, in this moment I feel depressed as hell, or I feel sad, I feel this, I feel that. Beneath all of that shit lies an energy that just wants to be moved through so that you can escape on the other side. More complete and whole, and able to do whatever you want in your life. More sure of yourself than ever. Where things are simple and straightforward. If you want to learn how to do this, I'll leave a link to my course down below. And don't forget to watch my live streams also. I'll leave it all down below. And I'll see you in my next video.